Hey, hey, Blue Table fans! Yes! The Dark Master has appeared! Alright, anyway. I'd be like the most lovable Dark Master there ever was. Alright, guys. Well, apparently it's down to, I guess, a couple hundred BTP fans. And some bots. Let's not forget the bots that are watching. So sound off, tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, since when have you been a BTP fan, and hold on, what am I doing here? Getting myself straightened up. Okay, first off, I'm just finishing up a show called Arcane on Netflix. Everybody was raving about it, and I gotta tell you, I've got problems with shows where they use kids doing dumb things as a way to push the plot forward or create like risky situations. Oh, the kid ran off and did this now. Oh, what are we gonna do? I think it's lazy writing. And hold on, I gotta adjust my tripod. It's a little crooked here. Oh, there we go. Oh no, now it's crooked the other way. All right, anyway. Other than that, yeah, it's brilliant. It's pretty cool. It had me rooting for some characters. There were some times where I was like, oh, that's so cool, that's so amazing. And there were other times when I was a little bit touched. So there's that. Also, in terms of miniatures battles, which is what Blue Table Painting is all about, I have been doing some role-playing games. Now, for me, miniatures is a great way to tell a story, and that's the form that I love most, which is to tell a story as a dungeon master and interactive storytelling. And right now I'm doing Dune on Friday nights. It's an awesome game. I've told you all about it, so I won't dwell too much on it. We've done 3 sessions so far. Every single one of them was awesome. Except the first one where only one person showed up. So here's to many, many more of that. It's very challenging to do hard science fiction. But it does make things a lot riskier. Like, there is no resurrection or healing spells. You just, this is it, and this is what could happen. I'm definitely in love with the Dune system, and I love the 2D20 system now. It has just the right amount of granularity and storytelling that you need. Now this system, 2D20, in every single one of the rule books where I've seen it, they've done it slightly differently. And in Dune, you have 5 basic skill attributes. So instead of like a zillion skills, they just give you 5. It's like battle, discipline, communicate, understand, and move. And so like to jump from a rooftop to a rooftop, that's a move ability. And if you have a focus, which is a specific skill like combat pilot or sword mastery or something like that, and you can even make up your own, that just changes how the dice go. So basically what you do, the skills, you get a number between 4 and 8. And so you throw your 2d20, let's say your battle is 7. So you throw your 2d20 and every single one result that's a 7 or less is a success. So you get 1 success. You're highly likely that one of them will be that 7 or less. Or you could get 2 successes, quite a bit less chance of that. But the great thing is it gives you like a scale. It tells you how well you did on this test rather than just like the D20 system of just success or failure. And if you roll a 1, that's a critical, it counts as 2 successes. You could theoretically throw 2 dice and get 4 successes. The maximum you need ever is 5. Like some kind of miracle is 5 successes. Now, if you have a focus, which means a particular type of skill, that's associated with what you're doing, then any success is considered a critical success and gives you 2 successes. So let's say you're doing understand and you have a focus in your understand skill of diplomacy and you're using diplomacy, then you would get a critical on either. And a 1 would still just be a critical, give you the 2 successes. Now, here's where it gets great. That light just went off, and that can only mean one thing, and that's that my wife is home. And she's turning off the lights as she comes through the house. Hello? Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. So then there's a second set of 5 drives. Drives are motivations for your character. And if something you're doing has a drive, your character has a drive associated with it, then it increases your range for success. So let's say your drive is justice, and you have a drive statement saying evildoers must pay for their wrongdoing. And you happen to be doing a test associated with that drive, then you succeed on that and higher. So let's say it was 7 for battle, and then you got another 7 because your drive applied. That means you would get a success on a 14 or less. And if you had a focus on top of that, which is the maximum of the good situation you can have, then that means under 7 would be criticals, double successes. And what we found is that, because the max you can get is 8 and 8. So we call it 16-8 with focus, and then you roll the dice. And we found it's not that hard to get 4 or 5 successes with that. But what's great about Dune, and what's interesting about it, is that it doesn't just matter that you have the skill to do it, but you have to have motivation. If your character is highly motivated to do it, and it has to do with their story, that you can really rack up those successes and be amazing at it. And there's another element to Dune, which I love, which is that you don't just play one character. You have a main character, you have a notable character who's less powerful, and then you have a minor character who's like a minion, basically. And so in every scene, not every one of the main characters is there. Hold on a second. Darling? Luli? Well, I was just going to let her by. She's really shy. All right. So not everybody is going to be in every single scene. So it's not like a fantasy role-playing adventure where you have a party that's like moving from place to place and you're always playing the same character. I might, as the referee, I might open a scene and say, you know, the scene is in orbit on a highliner and it's in one of the lounges. And I'd say, okay, these are the people that are there, who do you want to play? So you slip into these different roles depending on who you are. What's funny is, after a couple of scenes and playing the same guy, my players want to make those into main characters, which is fine with me. They're not that much more powerful. And so, hey, do you need to get by? Okay, well, I'm going to change the camera so you can move through. Okay, so I'm loving Dune. I'm using miniatures for it, and that's just near and dear to my heart. For 40K, I do love 40K. Don't get me wrong. I did, with my Necrons, take a run. I think I went to like 3 tournaments, at least 2, and that was a lot of fun. I definitely hadn't done that in a really long time. And I'm definitely going to do it again. I might be going to LVO in January. I have a friend of mine who, his traveling partner conked out. So, I might be going on a road trip. And that's pretty exciting. What else? Dune. Oh, so what army to do next? I'm thinking Tyranids or Eldar. Those are my two favorites, my go-tos. And it's just, it's a tough call. I hear the Eldar army book is coming out pretty soon. So with that, so basically whichever of the army books comes out first, that's really the best time to collect and play an army. Is you can come on through. Hi. Do you need help? No. Okay, sounds good. All right. So Eldar Tyranids is probably what's going to happen there. And quite frankly, I'm inspired to paint either of those again. And I think this will be like my 8th Eldar army or something like that. All right, let's move on. We've got, and then I had a family invite me out to run D&D for them. They did want it initially every other week. I think they're going to be going every week now. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I decided on Isle of Dread. I'm running a very low-key start from first level by the book adventure. So no overpowering it, Sean. And that's going to be a lot of fun for me, is to run an adventure where they're really limited in their resources. I was going to take my kids out to see Spider-Man No Way Home, but that is all over the valley. That is booked solid. You are not getting tickets on a Friday night now. And probably not on a Saturday either. I'm still looking into that. And they're excited for it. I really would love to go see a comic book movie right about now. That sounds like a lot of fun. Well, guys, that's all I got to say. BTP is just chugging along, very low-key, very humbly. And right now I'm cracking at about 35 projects. And I'd love to get 2 or 3 more in the hopper. That sounds about right. There is an optimum number of projects to have going at the same time. What else? Oh yeah, my trade program's still going. So if you want to get a project done and you want to take the edge off and send me a whole garage load full of old stuff that you're not using, well, it'd be much appreciated, and I can certainly broker a rehoming to a loving home of your old miniatures. That would be awesome. And what else? Yeah, my web store it's fairly well picked over at this point. And the reason for that is my deals are actually good. You go on some places and they're like, yeah, here's all my secondhand miniatures. I'm giving 20% off of retail. I'm like, no. Here's how it works. If you're selling miniatures secondhand, guess what? 50% off. And if there's something special about them, you can go up from that. And if there's something horrible about them, not usually, secondhand miniatures, you can't be too picky. You might go down a little bit, maybe down as low as 40%. 40% of retail, i.e. 60% off. That's pretty deep, and that's a no-brainer, and you'll get rid of your stuff pretty quick. But going up for secondhand miniatures, you gotta have a reason to go from 50% off to only 30% off, or 50 to 70% of retail. That's where miniatures should be, secondhand miniatures. Hey, your stuff isn't that special. Guys, we gotta just keep it moving. We gotta let new people have a chance with that stuff. All right, what else? Yeah, life is good. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope you got your interestingness of the day.